We are on. We are live. Work on Your Game University classes in session. We're going. Hopefully, we got a consistent stream here. Facebook was acting up yesterday, but we are live now, and we're gonna get into it in a minute. So as y'all coming in, y'all know the routine. Go ahead and make yourself known in the comment section. We're gonna get started in like 30 seconds. I ain't wasting no time. Bradley Anderson, what's going on? Today's topic, y'all see what the topic is. How to respect other people's opinions. We need to talk about this one because it's getting crazy out here, man. It's getting crazy out here right now for everybody. Some of it's funny, some of it ain't, but it's getting crazy out here. So we gotta discuss this. I want to make sure I give the game to the people who need the game. And if some people out here are gonna be crazy, they still gonna be crazy. But some people are gonna stay crazy no matter what. But hopefully, not everybody. So as y'all come in, again, make yourself known in the comment section. Facebook, hit that like, comment, and the share button. Share to see your timeline. IGs, leave that comment, and let's get to it. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, former 9-year professional athlete, author of 27 books. I'm the creator of this whole brand called Work on Your Game. It's all about taking the pro athlete mindset, teach you how to apply it in your business and sport in your life. It's a 4-part framework based on discipline, showing up every day, confidence, putting yourself out there, mental toughness, continuing to show up and put yourself out there even when it's not working, and personal initiative, making things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. This is all put under the umbrella of Work on Your Game for 3 specific types of people. Number 1, you need more game. Number 2, you need to get better at performance. Number 3, you need to get more recognition from the right type of people. So if you're one of those 3 people, you're in the right place at the right time. You are the right individual. Let me shout out a couple people. If you shout yourself out in the comments, I will give you a shout out. Coffee the Great was good. We got Puerto Rico here. Ryan from Virginia here. And Saleh checking in from a hotel. So listen, we started like 5 minutes late today because I was actually coming up with, I was sussing out what we're going to talk about here today because I felt like we needed to talk about it because I peruse social media. I don't be super active replying to everything that people be saying, but obviously over this last month, it's been a lot of stuff been going on, and all y'all are on social media. You on Facebook or Instagram right now, or YouTube if you're watching this and I put it on YouTube. Y'all know there's a lot going on. Y'all know there's a lot being talked about. There's a lot of tension, and the subject for the most part is race. And the thing about the subject being race as opposed to the subject being even politics or sports or business is that when it comes to race, everybody has an opinion because everybody has a race with which they identify. Even though politics can affect everybody, not everybody participates in politics. And the bottom line of it is politics, what happens in politics does not always affect our day-to-day lives. There are some politics that do, but much of politics does not affect our day-to-day lives. Sports, not everybody participates in sports, and sports is just a game. So we can be excited about sports during the game, but when it's over, we don't have to talk about it anymore. Other topics, business. Some people, if it's affecting you, talk about it, but you don't have to. But race is a topic that everybody has something to say about. And since we see all the stuff that's going on nowadays, ever since the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis a month ago, everybody has something to say about race. There's a whole lot of things being said, and even if you don't have nothing to say, you read a lot and you saw a lot and you hear a lot. And today's topic is not specifically about race, but one thing that I have noticed since when I peruse platforms like Twitter, not necessarily Instagram, because Instagram is more like pictures and stuff like that. I don't really browse Facebook, so all y'all on Facebook, the only thing I use Facebook for is to post on my page, but I don't be looking at the feed. I don't read anybody's status updates, and I'm glad that I don't because it probably is not going to give any benefit to my life. But those of you who do, Facebook and Twitter is the one that I be on that gives me like the news. It's like my news feed is Twitter. I'm seeing a lot of intolerance is what's happening right now. A lot of intolerance, meaning people have certain opinions that they have formed, and they are very intolerant of anyone having an opinion that does not go along with their opinion. Whatever their opinion is, if you got a different opinion, it's not that you have a different opinion. It's not that y'all agree to disagree. Is that someone with a different opinion from me, I'm not saying me personally, but this is the way I see a lot of people talking, is that anyone who has an opinion that's different from mine is therefore wrong. You are fundamentally incorrect. You are factually incorrect. Some people even have turned their opinions into facts. You're factually incorrect. You are misled. You have some bad ideas. You got some things going on that are just completely wrong because your opinion is different from my opinion. So we're going to get clear on exactly why this is happening. Well, we already know why it's happening because the topic is race, and people have different views on things that have occurred and why they have occurred and what needs to happen next. A lot of people have opinions on that. Everybody actually has an opinion. Not everybody shares it, but everybody has an opinion. And we're unsure what the future is going to look like. But right now, some things are unfolding. Some of them that I care about, many of them that I don't, and some of them that I don't even know about, and some of them that I'm completely neutral to. Whether that happens or not doesn't really do anything for anybody. And I've said that on some topics here. But when it comes to how we communicate with each other, that's something that everybody has to deal with. All right, no matter what color you are, no matter what your sexual orientation, no matter how you identify, you are going to have to communicate with other people. And let me tell you something that is happening around the world a lot right now, something that's going to continue to happen, is that you are going to come across people who have different opinions from you, people who see things differently from you, people who have a different perspective, people who see the same thing that you saw, but they have a completely different view of how it happened and why it happened and what needs to happen next. And you need to be equipped with the tools to deal with these individuals in more efficient and more productive ways than what I've been seeing on these social platforms over the last month, because I'm seeing a lot of not very productive communication going on. And the challenge with that is this, because when people get into this not productive communication, it can just become a power struggle. Whoever has the power, whoever has the leverage, whoever has the audience or the attention or whatever, they can kind of overpower somebody who has less. The problem with using that formula is that you will never be the one, you're not going to be the one with the power all the time. And sometimes that same energy is going to get used against you. So you can't use that as your only tool. It's kind of like if you're a bully in the streets and every time you don't like somebody, you just beat them up. That could work for you for a long period of time, but eventually you're going to come against somebody who has some resource that can defeat your propensity to beat people up. And now that same energy gets used against you, and you might not live to talk about it the next day. So we got to be careful with abusing that energy, and that's what I want to get into here today. So we can see that having certain opinions, now we're getting into our material here. I just gave you the intro. We can see that certain opinions these days are pretty much illegal. You know, there's a funny thing that I was thinking about, and any of y'all can answer this for me. I was thinking in the NBA, right? You got like, let's say there are 5 to 10 assistant coaches on every team. Let's say 5 to 6. Then you got trainers and all that. All those coaches. Then you got all the head coaches. So we're talking like 300 or so coaches in NBA. Let's say 200 to 300 coaches in the NBA. And then in the NCAA, college basketball, how many coaches we got? Like another couple, 300 or so. Then you got a few assistants on every team. So let's say we got somewhere around, let's just say around 800 to 1,000 coaches in college basketball right now, right? Between all the schools and the NBA. 800 to 1,000 people. All right, what's the chances that at least one of those coaches is a supporter of the right-wing politics, Donald Trump, Make America Great Again? What's the chance that at least one of those coaches is a supporter? I would say there's a pretty high chance at least one of them, right? Now, how many of those coaches could come out and publicly support Trump right now and have a job tomorrow? I would guess 0. It's something that I thought about this morning. I didn't write about it or say nothing, but it was something that I thought. And the same thing I had said about somebody like LeBron. People say LeBron's great because he speaks out on social issues. Well, people say he's great because he speaks out and you agree with him. Now, if he spoke out and he was a Trump supporter and he was talking Make America Great Again and he was just as outspoken, would everybody agree with him? Would everybody say that he's great? Would everybody say, well, he's better than Jordan because he speaks out on things? Of course not, because it's not the fact that he's speaking out, it's the fact that you agree with his opinion that makes you like him. And that is I think that's a challenge that's going on in our community as a whole. It's not about black people or white people or a political office or any of that. Is that many people right now, maybe you, I'm not saying you, but maybe you got to check yourself on this because I don't know you like that, or I don't know you at all. Many people seem to be in this frame of mind right now that there's certain opinions that are okay to have and certain opinions that are not okay to have. And if you have the wrong opinion, so to speak, you could lose your job, you could lose your career, you could be ambushed on social media, and that might be a big part of what you do. You could be made to feel very uncomfortable in your workplace or whatever it is that you do simply because you have an opinion that a lot of people don't like. And even though I am a black male and I have a voice, I am essentially right now, the way things are going right now, if you are a person of color or you're a supporter of anything that has to do with creating more equality and more justice for people of color, whatever the hell that even means, we've already talked about that, whatever that means, if you're in any way in support of that, your opinions are in the majority right now. Right now, you're winning, at least in the social media discourse. So even though I'm on the side that is technically winning because I'm for those things, I'm for more justice and more equality and more things working in favor of people of color, even though I don't know exactly what those things mean. There's nothing tangible behind all those words, even though people keep saying them. I still think we all need to be careful, because that energy will always swing back. Power is a game, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite book is Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. And one of the things that Robert Greene talks about in that book is power itself. The dynamic of power is a game. Meaning, just because somebody has power today does not mean you're going to have power tomorrow. Just because all the momentum is on your side right now doesn't mean it's going to stay on your side. And what that means is all the energy that you are utilizing right now when you are in the position of power and you're using it against people and you're kind of bullying them and shouting them down and pressuring them into doing things for you because you have that momentum right now. Understand, when that power pendulum swings back the other way, that same energy that you were putting out when you were in a position of power is going to get used against you. Everybody follow what I'm saying? So don't get cocky when you find yourself in a position of the majority or position of authority, because eventually you're going to be in the other position. That's the way life works. Life swings is the balance. That's why we got night and day. We got the yin and yang. You got the wins and the losses. You got sunny days. You got rainy days. You got the winter. You got the summer. So don't think just because things are in your favor at one period that you can just abuse it and nothing's going to happen. Something is going to happen. Now let's get into our points after all that introduction. Number one, your way of seeing the world is not the only way to see things. This could be the whole topic right here. Your way of seeing the world is not the only way to see things. And seeing things a way that is different from your way is not wrong. I'm pausing there just to let that sink in. If somebody sees things different from how you see things, that does not make them wrong. It does not make them incorrect. It doesn't make them, I don't know what other words people are using these days, but I mean, y'all be on social media, y'all see whatever you see, whoever you follow, whoever's talking. It's not wrong to have a different opinion. Understand, what you need to understand here is the difference between a fact and an opinion. And it seems like a lot of people don't know the difference. And the news is not helping. The media is not helping. A lot of people who are supposed to be leading and educating you, they're not helping, because what happens is nowadays, a lot of news networks, and this could be from CNN to Fox to MSNBC to, I don't know, whoever else is out there, Breitbart News, all these platforms, even ESPN, which is a sports news network, they take their opinions and then they mix in a little bit of fact. And then they say, well, this is the truth. This is actually what it is. It's not our perspective of what it is. This is what it is, as if you're supposed to accept that as a fact when it's not actually factual information. It's just the way that they decided to interpret it based on maybe a bigger reasoning that they have. But this is what's happening with a lot of media networks, which is why I told y'all, I did a master class a couple weeks ago at Working the Game University. Stop watching the news. Whoever purports themselves to be news, stop watching them, because they're no longer giving you the news. They're giving you a little bit of fact mixed in with their opinion of the fact. And then they're trying to get you to believe their opinion and think that that's the truth because you're not hearing anything else. And these algorithms on these social platforms, they look at what you look at, they notice what you pay attention to, they notice what you read, they see what you like and comment and share, and they only show you things that are related or similar to what you already like, which means this is how you end up in the bubble. You hear people talk about the bubble, is because once you start liking and commenting and sharing certain material that is of a certain ilk and has a certain tone to it and a certain voice, all they show you is more people who are just like that, more content that's just like that. So the only thing you see is a bunch of material that's all saying the same thing and reinforcing the same idea. So you begin to believe unconsciously that everybody, quote unquote, everybody is saying the same thing, and that's not actually true. The algorithm is just giving you the things that is just supporting what you already seem to be interested in, because the algorithm is interested in keeping you on the platform. So it's not going to show you something you don't like. It's going to show you something that you do like. So it's showing you more and more the same stuff. So this is how you can get sucked into the vortex in Instagram, on Twitter, especially on a platform like Facebook. Facebook is the worst when it comes to feeding you more of what you already agree with. And then you all of a sudden believe that everything you see is of the same opinion, which makes you think, well, everybody believes it. Everybody is saying that. So when you come across someone who happens to have a different opinion, your brain is broken and you can't believe it. Like, how can you have a different opinion? I've been following 30 people on Facebook who all got the same opinion. I've seen 20 different feeds on Facebook who all say the same thing. I watch the news every day. They all say the same thing. And this is how we get into these bubbles of opinion, and we start to think that everything that we think and the people around us think all think the same thing. So we start to believe, oh damn, everything that everything that's happening, it must be this way. It must be that, no, Trump is terrible, or it must be that Trump is amazing. And this is how we got these two different bubbles. You got people in each bubble who think that everybody thinks the exact same thing, and it's ridiculous when you look at it objectively, because you're like, all right, they think this opinion and they think this opinion, and neither one of them can even understand that the other one exists. And it's crazy, again, because I just explained to you why it's crazy. So now, let me tell you the difference between a fact and an opinion, okay? A fact, this is a definition out of Merriam-Webster Dictionary, and we're gonna make sure we nail this down because I don't want anyone to be confused. A fact, ladies and gentlemen, is an objective reality. A fact is an objective reality. What that means is you can look at it outside of yourself and objectively see this is what it is. There is no debate. There's no point of view. There's no perspective. A fact is objective. It is real. It is there. It doesn't change. It's just what it is. All right, that's what a fact is. All right, everybody understand that. Now, let me juxtapose that with an opinion. An opinion is a view or judgment that is formed in the mind about a particular matter. A view or judgment formed in the mind about a particular matter. So now let's look at the difference between a fact and an opinion. I'm going to tell you the fundamental difference between the two. A fact is something that is formed on the outside of you. You can see it. It's out there. Anybody can look at it and everybody sees the same thing. That's a fact. An opinion is something that is formed on the inside. You form it in your own mind. Your way of seeing something. That's an opinion. What actually is a fact. And these two are, the line between the two used to be very, very clear. It used to be a clear, bold line between a fact and an opinion. And everyone knew the difference. And the media used to always make sure we knew the difference. They would tell us, here's the facts of what happened, and now we're going to bring somebody on to give you their opinion. Now we're going to bring somebody else on, they're going to give you a different opinion. That's how it used to be. Nowadays, it's all blended together. Now you get a person who is giving you their opinion, but they mix in enough fact to make you think that they're being objective and telling you the truth when they're actually not. All they're doing is giving you their version of the truth, their version of the fact, but just the way that they want you to see it. All right, so the fact is this person won the election, but they won it because they did this bad thing, this bad thing, this bad thing, and this bad thing is going to happen after that. The other person on the other side says this person won the election. That's the fact. That's the one that everyone agrees on, but they say they won because they did this thing great, this thing great, this thing great, and this thing great. Do you understand how people can see two different things? Scott Adams, who's a guy who wrote a book called Win Bigly, also a book called How to Win at Almost Everything and Still Succeed at Life, How to Fail at Everything and Still Succeed at Life. He explained that they call this two movies on one screen. What that means is two different people can see the exact same objective reality, the same fact, but have completely different points of view and completely different perspectives on it, thusly completely different opinions. And what I'm explaining to you here today, that's okay. It's okay for people to see two completely different things or have two completely different opinions on seeing the same thing, as long as they agree on what they saw. As long as we can agree that the sky is blue, as long as we can agree that that car is green, as long as we can agree that this person won, as long as we can agree that this happened to this individual. Now, why it happened, who's responsible, those are opinions, and then we can figure those out. But everyone has to agree on the objective realities of what is actually happening. Facts are external, opinions are internal. So next time you see something, or you find yourself in an argument or debate, or you find yourself formulating what may end up becoming an argument or debate, ask yourself, am I speaking or thinking from a perspective of what I saw on the outside or what I believe on the inside? And you have to be really, really discerning and very disciplined to understand the difference between your own facts and your own opinions. Because you can see something happen, right? You can get on your phone right now, or when this is over, watch a video of something happening. You can see objectively what happened and then think that the opinion that you came up with is what you saw on the outside when it's actually not. Or you saw what happened, but your opinion is why it happened, what each person was thinking, what's the reasoning, what happened before this, what happened after this, what other people are going to say, whether it was right or wrong. You don't have any of that information. Only information you have is what actually happened. And you have to be able to separate the fact out from all the opinions. And again, like I said, our news networks, it used to be their job to do this for us. They used to do this. They used to tell us all the facts and then allow us to form our own opinions. Now they stopped doing that. Now they give us the facts and they give us an opinion at the same time. So now whichever network you watch, you think you have an objective fact, but you actually don't. All right. Nobody has to agree with your internal views. All right. That's the point that I'm making here. Just because you have an opinion does not mean everyone else has to agree with it. Just because you saw something a certain way doesn't mean people have to agree with the way you saw it. Now, what you saw we can agree with. But why it happened is a completely different reason. Like right now it's 90 degrees in Miami. Some people might say, well, it's 90. Everyone can agree that's the objective fact. Some people might say it's 90 degrees because, Miami has this tropical climate and the weather gets like this in the summertime. Other people might say, well, it's 90 degrees because global warming and people not taking care of the ozone layer and people keep eating animal products and nobody is, driving electric cars and we just keep polluting the planet and that's why it's hot. Now, those are opinions as to why it's happening. We can argue that all day, but the objective fact we all have to agree with. So make sure you're not mixing facts and opinions together. All right, that's bad cross-pollination. Point number 2. The topic here today is how to respect other people's opinions. Number 2, appreciate diversity of thought and diversity of view. In other words, what this means is when you come across other people who have different opinions from you, don't get upset, don't get angry, don't shout them down. You don't even have to argue with them. Don't try to cancel them. Don't try to give them a whole bunch of links and facts, quote unquote facts, as to why they're wrong, because they can give you just as many facts as to why they're right. And if you find yourself arguing with another person and you think you have these facts and they think they have these facts, then that means both of you are wrong. Both of you are dealing in opinions, because a fact is objective reality. Everyone can agree on it. If you find people disagreeing on things, it's not a fact. Or what they're disagreeing on is the opinion. As in, again, if you try to explain why something happened, unless you're a scientist, your why is an opinion. It is not a fact. What happened is a fact. Why it happened is an opinion. Do you understand the difference? Why is something that we formulate in our minds. We come up with a reason why something happened. A reason is an opinion. If what happened, the objective thing is a fact. Please do not mix those together. And again, when you go online, when you get off of this, all you're going to see is a whole bunch of people doing that all day. I want to make sure you can rise above the fray and see people for what they are. All right, see the game that's being played. If everybody in your circle, all your friends, the people you follow, the people you talk to every day, if everybody in your circle has the exact same opinions, there's no diversity of thought, there's no diversity of view, all right, you don't have a circle. What you have is a square, okay? It's not a circle if everybody has the same opinion. It's not even a square. It's like a straight line. You got a line segment. If everybody has the same opinion, everybody agrees on everything, nobody is willing, if they did have a different opinion, to even offer it. That is not a circle, that's a square. That's why I offered that question at the beginning, that hypothetical. Is there a college basketball coach right now who, if they supported Trump, could come out and announce it and still have a job tomorrow? The answer is hell no. So there's not a circle right now of opinion. There's a line of opinion, because everybody has to get in line and fall in line and say the right things and do the right things. And if you don't, now, then you're going to be out of it. You're going to be out of a job. You might be out of a career. You might not be able to get another job because somebody's going to Google you. They see you said the wrong thing, had the wrong opinion at the wrong time, and now your whole situation is canceled. Understand, you do not want everyone around you to have the same opinion as you, or have the same beliefs as you, or have the same point of view as you on everything. You don't want that. Let me tell you why you don't want that. Because if everybody in your circle has the same opinions and the same views, how are y'all going to stop yourselves from making a bad decision? How are you going to stop yourself when y'all have the wrong opinion? Or when you have an opinion, actually no such thing as a wrong opinion. How are you going to start to stop yourselves when you have an opinion that is leading you in the wrong direction for where you want to go? And the reason why I can be so sure that is eventually going to happen is because no human being is perfect. Anybody here perfect? That every idea you ever had just worked out and it was perfect and it popped off immediately the first time and you never had to fix anything and you never had to go back and say, damn, maybe I had the wrong idea there. Has anybody ever lived that life that everything was perfect? Nobody. So if everyone, since you know you're imperfect, right? If everyone in your circle thinks the same way that you think, that means it is inevitable that at some point you and your group, who all has the same opinion, you are going to have an opinion that is going to lead you in the wrong direction and lead you into failure. But if there's no one in your circle who is empowered to say that, hey, maybe we got the wrong idea here. Maybe we are going in the wrong direction. Maybe the way that we're looking at this, we should look at it from a different perspective. Maybe we are basing our actions off the wrong facts. Maybe we have facts, but they're the wrong facts to base our information off of. If you don't have anyone in your circle who, first of all, can think that way, and secondly, is empowered to speak up and say something, because one thing to have a different idea is another thing to express your idea. And right now, like I said, a lot of people can't even express their ideas if they're the wrong ideas, quote unquote wrong ideas. If no one in your circle is empowered to do that, that means your circle's headed towards failure, because there are no perfect individuals. So knowing that you're not perfect, if everybody in your circle is like you, that means you got an imperfect group. It means eventually you're going to do something dumb and nobody's going to say anything because everybody got the same opinion. All right, that's not a good outcome from you. So somebody in your circle has to be able to say, hey, this is a bad idea. We might want to look at things differently. All right, how can you grow in advance if you don't have anyone around you who can question you, challenge you, say, hey, let's take another look at our conclusion there because it might not be right. We might not have done that the right way. We might not have followed the right protocol. I want you to marinate on that one as we move on to point number 3. The topic here today is how to respect other people's opinions. Do not abuse momentum when you have it. I talked about this one already. Remember that the only thing inevitable in life, ladies and gentlemen, is change. That's the only guarantee that things will change. So when you have the momentum and you're able to kind of overpower other people's opinions because your opinion is the majority right now and your opinion is winning, all right, don't get too cocky to think that it's always going to stay like that because it absolutely will not. The only guarantee in life besides dying is change. All right, so if you think it's going to stay that way, you're going to be the dummy who wakes up one day and realizes, oh, it's not the same anymore. And all that energy you put out is going to come back on you. Remember the law of karma. The energy you put out is the energy you get back. I've never met a person who said they didn't agree with karma. Everybody agrees with karma. The thing is, people only point out karma when it's coming back on somebody else. We don't point out karma when it's coming back on us. When the energy that we put out comes back to us in a negative way, we don't say it's karma. We say, oh, it's just bad luck. Oh, somebody did something wrong to us. But when good things happen to us, we say, oh, it's karma because I did all that good stuff. Look at all this great stuff happening to me now. So we tend to take advantage or we take credit when things are working in our favor, but we always deflect the blame when things are not working in our favor. And I want you to be able to look at yourself a little bit more objectively and understand whatever energy you put out is coming back to you. So if you did some wrong or you took advantage of some people when you had the momentum, understand that people are going to take advantage of you when they have the momentum. All right, so make sure you are tempering yourself. All right, don't get cocky, don't get crazy do not become intolerant of others. Other people can have a view that is different from yours. They can see things the way that they want to see it, and they can have a perspective that is theirs. Even if you disagree, you can still accept them. You can still shake their hand. You can still be friends with them on Facebook. You can still be cool with those individuals. All right, the United States of America. I don't know how many people we have here who are not from the USA, but the United States of America is the one place in the world where you can have whatever opinion you want and say whatever you want, and you're allowed to. All right, as long as you're not threatening anybody, as long as you're not yelling fire in a crowded theater, you are allowed to say pretty much whatever you want. You can say something you can talk against a religion, you can talk against somebody's race, you can talk against the government if you want to. You can't be planning to overthrow them, but you can say, I don't like the president. You can say, I don't like this governor. You can say, forget the senator. I don't like the mayor. And nobody can do anything to you for saying that. You can say, I don't like Jewish people. I don't like black people. I don't like people over here. And you can say that, and you're perfectly allowed to do it. You can protest during the national anthem, and you are allowed to do it. Doesn't mean anything won't happen. Don't mean there won't be repercussions based on like business-wise, but legally, nobody can do anything to you for saying what you want to say in the United States. This is the freest country in the world. For any of you who, again, if we got any people who are from outside the United States, I'm sure you can agree to what I'm saying right here. There are countries in the world where you can't say anything. All right, in China, all right, they don't even have these platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, they don't exist in China because there's too many different people with different opinions on those platforms, and China doesn't want that. You can't have an opinion in China. All right, if somebody kneels during the national anthem in China, all right, you're not going to see them again. All right, you ain't going to hear from them ever again. And you're not going to go to trial, and they won't be allowed to have a lawyer either. All right, so you can find out how that goes if you want to, but I would suggest that you don't. This is the only country where you can say whatever the hell you want, and that means since you can say what you want, everybody else can say whatever the hell they want. And if how they feel is how they feel, that's how they feel. And how you feel is how you feel, that's how you feel. And y'all can agree to disagree. If you and the other party are mature enough, y'all can come together and have a conversation and find out where there's some common ground, because I guarantee you there is some common ground. Again, if you and that other person are mature enough to have that conversation and objective enough to separate your facts from your opinions. And that is becoming a more and more rare thing these days because we're being indoctrinated with fact and opinion blended together, and a lot of us cannot separate the two. We can't tell the difference. But again, I'm trying to talk to the people who want to learn this. You need to start paying attention to this because it's happening to you every day, and a lot of people are blind to it. Point number 4. The topic here today is how to respect other people's opinions. This is the last point. Be open to the truth that somebody else may see things that you don't see or that you have not considered. Now, here's where your opinions can change. I did a masterclass. I think I did a live on this maybe a month or two ago before all this stuff blew up. But at Working the Game University, I have a masterclass. I believe it's number 734. The topic, keep your opinions flexible. Let me say that topic title again. Keep your opinions flexible. Just because you have an opinion does not mean you are married. Do not marry your opinions. Your opinion is the way that you see things based on the information that you have. Which means if you were to go to a different angle of looking at the same thing, could your opinion change? It better change if you have a different angle. Which also means when you get different information, additional information, or different information, or you realize that some of your old information was not actually information, it was false, should your opinion change? It better change. The knowledge that you have right now today, you'll probably have more knowledge at this time next year, which means by this time next year, some of the opinions you have today should not be the same. You shouldn't have all the same opinions in 2021 as you have right now in 2020. Why? Because a year from now, you're going to have new opinions, you're going to have new way of seeing things, you're going to have new information, you're going to have new experiences, you're going to have talked to new people, they're going to know things that you don't know, they're going to offer perspectives that you never considered, they have seen things from angles from which you have not seen things, and therefore your mind should change in some ways. Your opinions can change. One thing that we've seen a lot also in this current climate, but this is not new, is that people get these certain opinions and they hold on to the opinion so strongly because they don't want to be seen as like a person who flip-flops, or a person who contradicts themselves, or a person who doesn't know their own mind because they came up with a different opinion. People seem to think, and I want to make sure y'all hear this, some people seem to think that changing your opinion means there's something wrong with you. Or no, if you want to be seen as consistent, you got to have the same opinion all the time. That is false. That is incorrect. Opinions are flexible. They should always be changing. Your opinion is like your knowledge. Your knowledge always changes, right? When you get new knowledge, you have a different opinion. I used to be of the opinion that for me, running outside on concrete would destroy my knees because I was a basketball player. But then I stopped playing basketball and my knees stopped hurting. I realized, oh damn, it was playing basketball that was messing up my knees. That does not mean, for any of you basketball players, it doesn't mean that basketball mess up your knees. That was my perspective of my life with my body. Your body may be completely different, might be the exact opposite. I thought running on concrete would destroy my knees. I stopped playing basketball years ago. I run a couple marathons. I do 5Ks, half marathons, 10Ks, run all the time, and my knees don't bother me at all. My basketball knees were hurting way more than they did from running. I'm not telling you that because, again, that's going to happen to you. I'm saying I got a different perspective when I got new experience, and thusly, every new experience led to new information. So every time you get new information, your opinions and perspectives should change. Therefore, let me reverse that and tell you this. You should be taking in information that should be opening your mind to seeing things differently. So ask yourself on a day-to-day basis, how many people do you interact with who have ways of looking at things and ways of expressing themselves and communicating with you that challenges you to open your mind and see things a little bit differently than how you saw them before? Versus how many people do you talk to who just tell you things that you already believe, already agree with, and quote-unquote already know? That should give you a really good insight into what kind of diversity you have in your circle. Because if everything you hear and everyone you talk to and every opinion you engage with is the same as the ones you already got, they're just telling you things you already believe, co-signing what you already think, you ain't going anywhere. You are in a position of stagnation. And the challenge of being stagnant is that the world is moving. The world is rotating every day. So if you're not moving with the world, that means you're going backwards. You are by default losing. So ask yourself, where's the diversity in my circle? Where's the diversity in my life? Where's the diversity in my thinking? If you can't point out any, that means you don't have any. That means you're in trouble, and you need to do something about that. Now that I'm bringing it up to you. Now let me recap these points. I'm going to tell you about how you get both of these books free. Then I'm going to recap the points. Then I'm going to take questions if anybody got any. This right here is the Mirror Motivation, Self-Guided, Self-Discipline. Get it free at mirrormotivation.com. This is for anyone who wants to step into a new version of you. Step out of the old you with a new energy. I already paid for the book. You pay for the shipping. Mirrormotivation.com. Balloverseas.com to get the overseas basketball blueprint. If you want to play ball overseas, even though you've been overlooked, underrated, never got a real shot, book is already paid for. You pay for the shipping. Balloverseas.com, overseas basketball blueprint. The topic here today, as we recap, how to respect other people's opinions. Point number 1. Your way of seeing the world is not the only way of seeing things. And seeing things another way does not make a person wrong. It just makes them different. You want people to be different. Now, you don't want everybody to be like you. A fact is objectively noticed externally. It's an objective reality. An opinion is an internally formed idea. Do you understand that? Two different things. If you're forming it internally, it's an opinion. If you can notice it externally, just on the surface as it is, that is a fact. Understand the difference between the two. Media is not helping you with this. They're trying to blend the two together, but be able to separate them so you know when someone's talking, what part is the fact and what part is the opinion. Point number 2, appreciate diversity of thought and diversity of view. If everyone in your circle has the same opinion, you don't have a circle, you got a square. You actually have a line segment, and y'all are all following in line, thinking the same way, doing the same things, and you're all going to go to the same fate, which is failure, because no human being is perfect. So if no one can offer a diverging opinion in your line segment, then y'all got a problem, because y'all are going to make a mistake. Point number 3, do not abuse the momentum when you have it, because the only constant in life is change. Momentum never stays going the same way forever. So the same energy you put out when you're in a position of momentum, when that pendulum swings the other way, that same energy is going to come back on you, usually 10 times stronger. Point number 4, be open to the truth that someone else may see things differently from how you see them. Someone else may have a perspective that you had never considered because you weren't thinking about it, because you got a line segment of people with the same opinions as you. Make sure you are surrounded by people with diverse ways of thinking, different opinions, people who will disagree with you and are open to doing so, and you and that person can disagree in a cordial, respectful way, not in that trashing each other way, not trying to beat each other on in the comment section or any of that. I'm talking about a cordial, respectful way, disagreeing, but also being able to respect each other's perspective, see what other people know that you don't know, and maybe you'll learn some new things that you didn't know before if you're willing to listen to another person. Listening is a skill that a lot of people are. Everybody started with the skill of listening. As babies, we all knew how to listen. All right, that's how we learn how to talk, by listening. But a lot of us lose that skill the older we get, and the more we start to get entrenched in our own beliefs and thinking that what we think is the only way to think. Do not fall into this dogma. I know this is all you're seeing in the media. It's all you're seeing on ESPN. It's all you see on Instagram. It's all you see on Twitter. It's all you see on Facebook. So I'm trying to keep it alive. I'm trying to keep this concept alive. I don't know how long it's going to last. All right, this may become extinct. All right, one day this is going to be in the museum, what I'm talking about right now, because everybody's going to be going off opinion. Everybody's going to be going off what they think and forget what everybody else thinks. But hopefully, somebody will display this in the Smithsonian one day. If we still got the Smithsonian, who knows? They might change the name because dude said something racist 200 years ago. But y'all get what I'm saying. So all that being said, if you got a question, go ahead and post it in the comment section, and I will address it. The topic here today is how to respect other people's opinions. All that being said, I hope some people got some value out of that. Bradley said, this is giving me chills. That's what's up. Glad you're getting some value out of it. Saleh said, do you believe geniuses find out facts? I don't even know what you mean by that question. I don't even understand that. You have to reword that in a way that I can understand. Geniuses find out facts. I don't know what that means. Bradley said, we have freedom of speech in Canada as well. All right, shout out to Canada. Canada got freedom of speech. Someone asked me about music. Nah. Brandon said, it's crazy how many people are taking each other off Facebook because of difference of opinions. Yeah, that started in 2016. I remember in 2016 when I would actually scroll Facebook. That was like the last year I scrolled Facebook. And this is before the election. It was around this time, actually. When people are like, all right, if you're going to vote for Trump, you got to unfriend me, because that means if you vote for Trump, that means you're racist. It means you're a bigot. It means you support rape. It means you support sexual abuse. It means you support intolerance. It means you're, all the negative things people say about you. And say, if you even support them, you got to unfriend me, which was crazy to me. I never responded to any of that stuff because I don't really care about politics like that. But I thought it was crazy that I saw a lot of grown men and women, people who I respect, posting that because they just could not deal with other people having an opinion that different from theirs. Lord says, just checked out your recent video on being ready at all times. It helped greatly. Love from Nigeria. Shout out to Nigeria. Shout out to Africa. And you're welcome. Bradley says, what's your favorite moment from doing all of my favorite moment? Every day when I get to go live is a moment. Everything I create. Because I know I'm giving people some game that's going to help them get better. So anytime I get to do that, I'm doing my job. So this right here, for those of y'all who don't know, is my book, Work on Your Game. Use the pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. This book right here, you're going to learn the frameworks that I use to go from the end of the bench in high school to being a 9-year professional athlete, then transitioning that into the business world, starting my own company. I'm the CEO of Work on Your Game Incorporated. I put the best 250 pages of my philosophy into this book here. I could actually write a 250,000 page book if I wanted to, but I made it 250 just so you could digest it, because you might not read the whole book if it was 250,000. But 250 pages, you can read that, right? So that's this book right here. All you got to do is go to workonyourgamebook.com. Let me tell you what else you're going to get, because I'm going to give you more than the book, because I like to over-deliver. If y'all don't mind, I like to over-deliver. If you go to workonyourgamebook.com, workonyourgamebook.com, and order this book, not only are you going to get the book in the mail, of course, it's a hardcover book. We're going to give you over $1,200 in digital bonuses immediately, like right now, because you know the book got to come in the mail. So while you wait for the book to come in the mail, we're going to give you $1,200 of digital bonuses right now that you can access. Then you're going to get the book. So you're getting way more than your money's worth when you order at workonyourgamebook.com. Those bonuses are only available at the link that I just gave you. They're not available anywhere else. DW says, I can imagine one day the majority of people would know what the true definition of an opinion is. I hope that happens. I hope that happens. Right now we're going in the opposite direction. But like I said, things always change. So I think maybe, 20, 30 years from now, things will start going the other direction. But right now, so 20, 30 years from now, we're going to go that way. But right now, we're going that way. Right now, everything's going this way. Opinion matters more than facts right now. That's just the world that we're in right now. But you can still understand when someone's giving an opinion and a fact. Just be able to recognize it so that you don't get bamboozled. Jay Graham says, should I move to a different city to get around different people? I have the money to do so. Well, I can't tell you to move to a different city. You would have to make that decision. And maybe there's some people in your city that might be different. Maybe you just don't know. But I can't give you that advice whether to move or not. Maybe you should travel and just go interact with some different people. Maybe you don't need to move. I mean, if you like your house and you like where you live, you might like it there. So maybe you could just travel and get some experiences and come back, and you might see things differently because you're a different person, because you got different perspectives. So you see how that works? So mirrormotivation.com, self-guide, self-discipline. This is the starting point. If you have never read any of my material, you never bought anything from me, start with this. I made the book free, so you ain't even got to think about it. All you do is take care of the shipping. Mirrormotivation.com. Bradley says, that's a good idea. Use the information Dre gives you is always a good idea. Balloverseas.com, get the overseas basketball blueprint. Question is, what's the percentage chance of me playing ball overseas if I get a hold of that book? Could be really helpful. I can't tell you what the percentage chance is because it depends on, also, you got to actually get on the court and play basketball. So there's no way anybody can give you a percentage chance of you making it just based off of having no information about you. And I'm not a scout or a coach, so that's not really what I do. I will give you the blueprint, though. I'll tell you everything that you need to know and everything you need to do, and then you do it, and then you're going to find out. That's the way it works. But the book is free, so you ain't got nothing to lose. Balloverseas.com. Take care of the shipping. The book's 237 pages. Everything you need to know is in here. So what do you have to lose? Go to balloverseas.com, get the book. If you want to play overseas, I'm making it so easy for you to at least get the information and at least get the process of what you need to do. Anybody who wants to play overseas has this book. All right, now we've sent a lot of copies of this book out. Anybody who wants to play overseas has this book. All right, this is just the bottom line. So everybody, I do these lives every single day at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just turn on your notifications or whatever they got on IG so that you know somebody went live. Make sure you know about it. So that's that. I ain't got nothing else to say. I gave y'all the game today. If this was a good game for you, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, workonyourgameu.com. If you like this, understand something. I do a masterclass every day, audio. I will send it right to your phone. We got an exclusive app that is only for members at Work on Your Game University. We send it right to your phone every single day. I have over 1,500 of these. If you like this one, can you imagine that if you had access to all 1,500 that I've ever done? Yes, they are all on the app. It'll be right on your phone. You can access them immediately right now. You can join that membership for free, Work on Your Game University. Your first 2 weeks are free. If you want to keep it, you can keep it. But the first 2 weeks are free no matter what. Everybody. Y'all got that. I will post this. Somebody asked about posting this. It'll be on my IGTV. I don't always post it to my IG feed, but if you click on the little button for IGTV, it'll be in there. Everybody, I'll be live tomorrow. Work on your game. We out.